Howdy. I'm sitting on the side of the road, smoking a cigarette, pulling over because I got a letter from a friend of mine who I'm trying to like kind of rent out my place to while I'm kind of like traveling on the road and whatnot. And it's a letter from the city that I own the house in, and they're asking me about this property tax or whatever. And I was thinking to myself, why the hell do I have to pay a property tax? Like, I own my house, and it wasn't a very expensive house. It was only like $40,000, which is very, very, that's like 1980s level cheap. You know, I'm really happy and satisfied with it too. It's not a bad house. It's a really good starter property. And I wish there was more around like that around the country so there wasn't so much of a housing crisis. But I got a letter from the city saying that I owed them this property tax. And mind you, the city that I have the house in, there's like 4 or 5 other types of taxes they send you for like being a resident and owning the property. Like, if you just rent the property, you just pay your landlord and that's it. You just have that, and maybe you pay your utilities or whatever. But when you own the property, you owe the state like $1,000+ a year, and then on top of that, incrementally throughout the year, they send you about another $500-ish worth of bills that just go to the city, just to the city, you know, just for being a resident there. And like, there's a water bill, a sanitation bill, a sewage bill, which I feel like a couple of those could be lumped into one thing. And then there's like just a general like, hey, this is our city tax or whatever. I don't want to say the name of the town that it's in, but like they just have like a general like, this is a tax just for even being in the city, just for having a house here. Which is just so fucking fun when I already have to like pay utilities and then just general maintenance and upkeep of the house. It's not like cheap or anything. You have to like buy a bunch of like equipment and tools. Ladders are like $150 to $250 minimum, you know, and then like lawn mowers and all that kind of stuff. And you have to like keep up with everything, clean the gutters, fix the gutters, replace it if you have to, you know, change the filter on your heater system. Don't forget about that. I did not realize that was something I had to be doing, and I lived in that house for about 6 years, and it wasn't until like my heater stopped being able to push heat through the filter because it was so clogged up, and it would just like shut off as a safety feature so it wouldn't like overheat and explode. And I had to call somebody and be like, hey, I don't know what's going on with my heat, but it's not generating heat. And it was like it was like midwinter too. And we're all just cold, and we're like, what the hell's happening? We've had the heat on, and it keeps just turning itself off, so we had a guy come over, and he was just like, yeah, dude, your filter. It took him, like, not even a minute to be like, yeah, your filter is the first thing he checked. And it was caked to the max. So don't forget about your filters. Those are cheap. Those are only, like, $20, and you get, like, 3 of them, and you only have to replace them, like, they say, like, every couple of months to a year or something like that. I forget what it is. You can really stretch that to, like, 3-4 years. It's fine. But you have to keep up with all this stuff and buy all this stuff to keep up with the house, and meanwhile the whole time you're trying to maintain your property, the city that you've already bought the house in. It's fully paid off. I don't owe anybody any money for it. Why do I have to pay you fuckers? Why is there 6 handouts for shit when I already own the property? Like, I can kind of understand the once a year general property tax for owning, like, just for the house. You know, I feel like the land is already paid and bought for. I shouldn't be paying for the land or whatever. It should just be the actual property, and the value of the property on the house is what you should be paying for. And with a $40,000 house, my payment should be like $400, $500. It really shouldn't be that much, but it's like $1,200 a year, which isn't that much also, sure. But it's not something I want to fucking pay for. And I'm on the road trying to do this whole thing, and I'm not getting a lot of money for the rental property either, by the way. It's like $800, and when you factor in like gas, food, and then my maintenance for the truck, and like, you know, just supplies that I need on the road and stuff like that, like that $800, it doesn't go very far in this economy when gas is $5 a fucking gallon in America. You can find it some places for like $3 at the minimum, but like still $3 is still like what it costs like $40, $42 ish to like fill up my tank still. So, you know, which sure isn't much, but all the shit adds up, and I have no money at the end. Like I do DoorDash pretty much full time because I have to, so that I can actually like afford consistently to eat. Sometimes I have to pay for like parking so I can like have some place to stay for the night or whatever, you know, and just all this other stuff. Laundry, I have to pay for laundry. I have a gym membership so I can shower somewhere decent, and a bunch of other like minor things. My phone bill, I still pay for like Wi-Fi and stuff so that I can use my laptop and try to like do other things. There's just a lot of things I'm still having to pay for and whatnot, even though I went to the most minimalistic life you can imagine, and I'm getting a rental payment on top of it, and I still work full-time, almost damn near, or at least part-time. Now I'd say part-time to full-time. I'm still putting in like 25, 30 hours into DoorDash a week, and that's still like, I still have like $40 in my DoorDash account, and I have 3/4 of a tank, and sure, I am full. I did eat today. I have plenty of water. Not plenty of water. I actually have to go get more water. This thing's almost empty. But you know, I'm barely making things work, and I have to still stay within like the limits of like a metropolitan area without, you know, unless I save up a decent amount of money and or use part of the rental payment to like get to a different state so I can find another decent sized metropolitan area where the point where DoorDash is actually a viable, you know, source of income, so I'm not just ass out wherever I go places. And I'm not ashamed to play music on the sidewalk and ask for money, or at gas stations and ask for gas. I did that for the first like month and a half of being on the road pretty much, because I started off with zero money in my bank account, and I did it kind of sporadically, and I didn't get my first rental payment until 2 months into me being on the road by myself. So I was just playing music at gas stations and in front of grocery stores and asking for people to just donate whatever they felt comfortable donating from the grocery store, or if they could grab me specific items, toothpaste, cans of beans or canned food, whatever, fruit, you know, potatoes. I'd ask for all kinds of things, but like things that I could ration, things that'll last me a while, and things that are actually important supplies, and gas. I never asked for money at any point being on the road. People would hand it to me if they didn't want at the time, you know, take the time to go in, put gas on my pump, or, you know, yeah, they already got out of the store and got groceries, but they're like, here, I have this change, you can just have this, go inside, get yourself something, you know. Sometimes people just, it's more convenient to just hand out cash, which is fine. I always still used it for the proper purposes, but, you know, I went to a more frugal lifestyle, a more minimalistic lifestyle, and yet somehow I'm still paying so many different things, so much different, like so much money, and it's just crazy, man. It's absolutely absurd how generations of the past would fight fucking tooth and nail against this level of oppression. Like, even other countries around the world, like France has revolted like 19 times. Their government keeps trying to be corrupt, and France is just like, hell no, we will destroy every part of this fucking country and keep burning down the goddamn capital until you fucks realize that we're not putting up with the shit. After Queen Marie Antoinette, they're not putting up with this shit. And right now, we are definitely in our let them eat cake phase. Like, they're rubbing it in our faces, especially with the $250 million fucking ballroom. That's crazy. When people are starving, they're cutting off benefits. People are losing health care. People are like all these problems, and they're building a fucking ballroom? That's insane. So like, and Nepal just burnt their fucking capital down and is currently reforming their government. Goddamn. So all these other nations around the world are not putting up with the shit from their government. And America used to be the first nation on earth to be like, no, like, we fight tyranny, we're the freedom land, we're the freedom nation. Yeah, this is the most fucking oppressive country in the world. And not only are we the most oppressive to ourselves, we are the most oppressive nation to other nations. Like, we have 700 and something, military bases around the world. Most countries have at max 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're usually just around their country, around their nation, not spread across every continent on Earth. It's just nuts, Like, we are the dictators of the past, just in a different, we just look better. We're wearing suits and ties and smiles and stuff like that. We have better press, Fucking Pete Hegseth and his ugly ass wants to put a goddamn makeup room in the White House because he knows he looks so ugly. And again, another wasteful, they're talking about waste and abuse of government funds, but they're building a ballroom and a makeup press room so that they can look better on camera. Why the fuck does that matter? No real man, no offense, gives a fuck about what they look like when they're handling shit, when they're in charge of shit, when they're getting shit done, when they're in an actual executive position, when they're leading people, when they're trying to establish, order, and they're trying to establish, an actual fucking government, and they're trying to actually get shit done. The real leaders and real men don't give a fuck about what they look like. They have real shit on their minds, real shit to handle. They're worried about their constituents. They're like starving people. They're worried about, people not having shelter and proper resources and clean water and food and shit. They're not worried about what the fuck their face looks like, if they have blemishes or if their skin looks dry or something like that. What the fuck are we doing? Why are we just letting this happen? And all the while, the government shut down. So they're funneling in money while still wasting they're still funneling in money while not doing their jobs, and using the money they're funneling in to just pad out the White House and just trick it out, make it a fucking bachelor pad. What the fuck? It's crazy. And yet they have the gall to keep asking me for $1,000 for this and $50 for that, or $50 for this and that, adding up to like $200 every quarter, which adds up to another, I said like $400, $500. No, it's like $200 every quarter, which adds up to about like $800 an actual year on top of the $1,000 payment. So it's close to $2,000 just paying other things and entities to keep my house. And again, that's not including my utilities, like my water and my actual heat, and then like having Wi-Fi and all the other stuff that just comes with owning a house that you also have to pay for. Like, and I am in a 2-income situation. Like, I was living at that house with my girlfriend, my ex, for up until this year, which has been 6 years. And we've had 2 incomes the whole time. And yet we still feel like we only have ever been able to take like a couple big vacations a year, but like only a couple. Like, we'd have to wait 6 months to do anything, 4 months to do anything. Like, we'd be able to take small little, what used to be cheap trips, like to national parks or to the woods or to the forest and stuff, but now you have to fucking pay to park everywhere because they're upkeeping the woods and the forest and this and that, even though our tax dollars go directly to funding the forest and wildlife parks department and agricultural services. So they're double dipping by making us pay to park while also making us take portions of our taxes to pay for that thing. Make it make sense. So you can't even go outside for free anymore because you have to pay to go anywhere, especially in any national park. I hope you have $35 per person, not per vehicle anymore. It's per person at most places now. So like if you have a family of 4, a husband, a wife, and 2 kids, God forbid, you're looking at a $120 a day to go to the fucking park. The park outside, the park. Not some man-made infrastructure, the park. It's the world. It's just the earth. The way it looks. To go look at the way the earth looks here in America, you have to go pay. Doesn't make any fucking sense. You have to pay for fucking everything. That's what I mean when I was saying generations of past and other, even just other nations and countries now, like they would never have put up with half the shit for this long, at least. Like, it's been 60 shit ass years of us not getting what we've been paying for with our hard-earned time, money, and taxes, and all this other shit that the government's been taking from us. Like, God, it fucking sucks. All of this sucks. And I'm way too fucking hyper aware for this shit. And it makes me so goddamn mad and miserable and sad and depressed that I can't do anything about it. And like, even after doing this and hitting the road and like, you know, exploring national parks and exploring, you know, just the wilderness, being by myself and really, you know, just doing the things I love to do every day, that'd be hike, kayak. You know, I play a lot of Magic the Gathering and find like LGS stores in every state that I visit in town if they have one, and try to find their local Magic night or their local Pokemon night so I can go hang out and have some fun, blow off some more steam. Like, and I just do a lot of the things that I love doing, and, you know, finding some peace in mind in the fact that I have no power to change anything. I have no real will I can impose on the reality that we're all faced with, that unfortunately is we are being oppressed by a group of elite wealthy people who do not see us as people but cattle to be milked and to supplant their own agendas and pad out their own lives and make everything better and kosher for their existences, while leaving all of us to the fucking gutter. And, you know, and I've been able to see that the entire time. I've known my entire life that the whole structure of the American dream was all really, it was always a sham. Like, they were able to call it, like, I forget what his name is, I think it's like George Carlin, but he said, like, they call it the American dream because you have to be asleep to believe it. And it's so accurate. Like, it's so accurate. Like, the only time I could actually envision the American dream is literally while I'm dreaming or daydreaming, or like, not like, you know, my mind's just going off and I'm just thinking about like what life really could be like. In my version of the American dream is community and no government, but local. Sure, like, even we can have state government. I'm fine with that on a local basis. All the 50 states should be able to govern themselves. We've gotten to a point where we have enough infrastructure, resources, manpower, wealth, and distribution of stuff that we can all manage our own stuff. You know, we could all manage our own country, our own states, and have on that level just that kind of government where it's a small panel, you know, of like maybe 200 employees per state, depending on how like big the population is or whatever, and all they do is just, that's what their job is supposed to do, is redistribute resources evenly and equally among everybody and make sure that you know, we're not fucking up the environment and education is good. And that's all that they need to do. That's their only job, is to focus on redistributing wealth and resources, focusing on making sure that education is widely available for all groups and at all levels of, you know, educational capacity, that be kindergarten all the way up to college, all the way up to your master's degree. I think our taxes should 100%, like other countries, fund our education system. Like, it's wild to me that they don't. They should be able to 100% fund everybody up to whatever level of education that they want to pursue. And that's all that they have to do. Redistribute, make sure everything, again, is the environment's good, food, everybody has food, water, housing, and education. That's it. That's their only job. Everything else after that, leave that shit up to the people to decide for themselves how they want to operate. All right, if there's disorder, then there's disorder, and we need to correct that. But most people, there's only disorder because the government has been so corrupt and left so many other neighborhoods and communities to be fucking wiped out by big corporations like Walmart and Dollar Tree, who can just go into smaller towns, build their fucking thing there that has everything that everybody in that town could need at incredibly low prices that undercut every local establishment, to the point where they have to close down because Walmart's bought up all their stuff, and then Walmart just leaves that town, or Dollar Tree just leaves that town, and now that town has no business or no economy whatsoever, and all those people have to leave, and they're fucking ruined. And then they're bought out by bigger other companies that can buy out the housing, fix them up, and make them prime real estate and gated communities and resell them at incredibly expensive rates, and then rebuild the town with more bougie ass shit. It's crazy, wild bullshit like that like the government is supposed to cap and check on. Like, other than that, they do not need to ask us for anything. They don't need to give us any rules. We do not need a bigger government in that sense. And we could have so many nice things here. This could and should be truly the greatest country on earth. Like, they've been saying it forever. America's the greatest country on earth. Come here, come here. Feeding everybody this bullshit ass lie, but when they come here, they get arrested, detained, persecuted, fucking profiled, objectified, and all this other bullshit. And, you know, just, it's crazy, you know? Like, again, we have everything we need here to make life perfectly fine for everybody. And with AI on the rise, do you know what a fucking gold mine humanity has been able to succeed with when it comes to the innovations of AI, of actual artificial intelligence? It's insane. Once we've like, these programs that they're developing right now could ease the burden of humanity 98% easily, by developing programs that could come up with all kinds of cures for all kinds of ailments and stuff like that. We could have AI, we could, like, literally iRobot style, without the corrupt, you know, supreme intelligence part of it all. But we can have robots, like, doing all the manual labor, and let humanity, like, sit back. We can relax. We can enjoy living and being alive instead of fighting all our lives since the dawn of humanity. All we've done is fight to survive in so many different forms and variations, but all we've done is fight. All we've done is work hard to try and, you know, ensure that we have the best life for ourselves and the people that we love. And wouldn't it be so fucking nice if we didn't have to do that, if we could relax, if a generation of children could be born having, like I said, full access to food, water, and all the resources they need, so that their brains can truly go wild and think about all these amazing things that could lead to so many breakthroughs. We could be conquering the stars. I believed so much in that fuck-ass, goofy-ass Elon Musk for, like, 2008 up until, like, 2014, when he started getting weird with shit. And because he had some real cool-ass ideas. He was really a true forward thinker, and I don't know if it was money, greed, corruption, politics, or what that got to that man's head, but he lost sight of the vision. He lost it. Dude is not on the right path anymore, and he's corrupt, and he fell, and that is the richest man on earth, and he fell, unfortunately. And if they redistributed the wealth cap, like, if they put a cap on wealth and redistributed it to, like, the point where nobody could have more than even fucking $2 billion, like, dude, so much wealth would flood into the economy, and everybody could have everything. And the wealthiest people could still live their wealthiest lives. They could still have everything they want. It wouldn't make a difference to them. They're still raking in, like, their net value would never drop below that threshold, because they're constantly making in money, so that it would just stay. They could look at it every day. It would never leave that cap, because every day they're generating so much money that it would never fall. It would never fall. And the way they have their finances set, it already is set so that whatever they're making is just pure profits. Everything else is already getting paid to the company, the employees, etc. All the chains of delivery and distribution, all that's paid for before they hit their profits. So, like, if they still are capped at $2 billion, that's insane amounts of money that company is raking in on a daily basis on a net value. Just, like, astronomical amounts of wealth, more than any king of old has ever had, is being funneled through a couple people, and it's insane. And fucking insane. And back to that point, like, they used to kill people, like kings who would hoard this much wealth and not distribute it to anybody. They would literally hang them, cut their heads off, burn their fucking kingdoms down, and tear down the building and take the gold off the walls and out of the floors and all the jewels and gems, and redistribute wealth among all the people until everybody was happy and had money and had stuff and stability. Yet somehow we're allowing ourselves on a daily basis to be fucked, absolutely fucked. And I'm so sick and tired of it. I'm like wondering how long I could avoid any taxes or paying for anything, because the government shut down. I'm like wondering how they're even asking for money right now, but it's like the federal government, I guess, is shut down, and all the state governments are still active, and they're still definitely going to be asking for their handouts. Because God forbid we just live. Like, why can't I just buy a house and be done after that? Why do I have to pay anybody anything for anything? Other than, again, the heat and water people, I guess, because it's a part of a grid, and I get that. And it has to be serviced, and I get that, you know? And that's I mean, I don't even really get that. Heat and water, like, you're telling me I can buy a house that's connected to the grid, but, like, I have to pay X amount of money every month. Like, we have the infrastructure to make infinite power at this point almost, and you're gonna tell me that we still have to pay this guy, like, for heat and water? Like, put solar panels mandatorily on every property, and like make it so that like, and like our taxes should go towards that also. Like, you know, it should be a part of the whole thing with housing. And like, even with that, if you have like trees and stuff near your house, taxes should go towards paying for that. You should just have to call your local senator or late government or your legislature or government or whatever. Words are hard. I'm frustrated, and it's early. And just be like, hey, well, not even hey, like they should be coming over to inspect the property and make it so that you can be able to have solar panels, and just come and slap solar panels on everything. That way, every building has at least some percentage of energy being just completely just absorbed by the sun. It's just free, you know? Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. All this shit has been paid for, and with our money and our time years and years and years ago. I don't understand what we're in debt, what 38 trillion magical number dollars and ones and zeros they're making up that we're in debt for. Why can't we all just walk hand in hand as human beings through life and be innovative together and work together and thrive together? Like, all the smartest minds of the world don't see race, color, and creed and stuff like that. They just see brilliant people exchanging brilliant ideas for the betterment of knowledge, or for the sake of knowledge and the betterment, usually, of society at that point. But, like, what the fuck, man? I just want to be outside, play Magic. And like, I'm not opposed to working either. Like, I think everybody should, like, in a perfect society, even with AI still doing, and like, even if we had robots and manual labor-esque things, like, I don't want, like, people are talking about being upset that AI is taking their jobs. Well, if we didn't have to work and we could do our passions, and if our passions could correlate to making, you know, monetary value, such as if you want to be a baker or an artist, or, you know, you want to, you know, like, there's tons of there's still tons of space and opportunity for all that stuff. Everybody could go do all those things and pursue all those things. If everybody wants to be an artist, go be an artist. Everybody wants to be an actor, we should all be actors if we want to be fucking actors, you know? Like, do whatever you want to do. And if you want to, like, work in like, alongside AI in the workforce sector, go for it. That should be an option. Like, if people want to continue being a lumberjack for the sake of being a lumberjack, you go be a lumberjack, bro. I imagine somebody who wants to be a lumberjack would probably transition into just, like, wood carving or some shit, but, like, you know, if that guy really gets a kick out of cutting down some trees and, you know, whatever, then people should be allowed to do that still too. That, you know, have your own thing where you grow trees and you cut them down and you redistribute your own wood and whatnot, and specialty types of trees and wood. That'd be cool. You know, that'd be a cool trade and hobby thing that AI couldn't just easily replace. And, like, even if there was already, like, a thing doing that, like, I don't know. there there's checks and balances to everything, and we could always just workshop and talk through everything. Like, why can't we just talk about things? We have sophisticated language, and we are the most advanced that humanity has ever been, and yet we can't fucking talk about anything. Like, I feel like they need to institute therapy casually in school so people can work out their problems early on, to the point so that we can like talk shit so we can talk shit out, you know, throughout our adult years and our teen years, and teenagers can have more words to say and more ways to express their emotions without being lost and confused and stuff like that. Because it's hard for, you know, parents to be able to do that, but like, and that's something AI really can't teach. That's still something like jobs that's going to be like needed, is like actual teachers, people teaching and handing down knowledge. Like, I don't think AI should be helpful and used in the classroom, but I don't think it should be like a thing where like kids check into like this classroom and it's all being taught by a robot or whatever. No, I don't believe in that. I think knowledge should still be transferred down by people to people. And in those moments and in those classes and those sessions, it's still a person should be able to come in, like a guidance counselor. Everybody should, like, we all had guidance counselors in school, but like it was an optional thing to go seek your guidance counselor. Now, people should have been go fucking seeing their guidance counselor. Like, there should have been a fleet of guidance counselors, not just one dude who's in charge of all these angsty ass, depressed ass, confused ass kids and teenagers. No, there needed to be like 10, 20 of those motherfuckers. And they needed to, on like a half hourly basis, be rotating out students throughout the day and being like, and just checking in, you know, for like 5 minutes or whatever, if even 10 minutes or whatever, just checking in, you know. And if it needed to go longer, it needed to go longer, you know. And then they would like we could have ways, like every kid could have a tablet and they'd get like a little message from their person for the next appointment, like, sorry, you're getting bumped, and then it would just go down the chain line. And there's so many ways I could think of working all this shit out. But like, you know, therapy should have really been like, because people have a hard time talking and expressing themselves, so therapy really should have been mandatory in school. And like seeing your guidance counselor should have been mandatory. This video is probably going on a long time, and I'm probably just ranting at this point. I just wanted to say I'm just fucking fed up with the way that things are, like everybody else. And I just wanted to talk about it. Show that, you know, like maybe if there's like 2 million videos, 4 million videos on this platform, and all of them are talking about how fucking fed up we are, which doesn't do anything. Like, even all the protests and all the whatever, like I'm here in Portland right now. And I was there for No King's Day about a week ago, and like on the ground, and I was trying to like get people to like make a demand. Like, what are we just saying no kings? Like, we don't have a king currently. He just is like projecting himself as a king, but like he knows he's not a king. He just has, unfortunately, we're giving him unlimited amounts of power right now, and so is the Supreme Courts and all the other stuff, because we're just not storming the capitals like they did on January 6th with the insurrection. They had the balls to actually go in there and do something, even though it was for the wrong fucking reasons. They actually had the balls to go in there and stir some shit up, which is what all of us should be doing around the entire country right now, to all of our city council buildings, all of our federal buildings. We should just surround them, go inside, and literally forcibly remove all of those people from those office buildings. They don't get to go to work and rape, yeah, pretty much rape the American public on a daily basis and get paid tons of money to do it at the same time. No, fuck that. We need to reset this shit and roll it the fuck back, because this is fucked up. And, you know, and we needed to make demands. We needed to make not only our voices heard, but we needed to actually like do something with that energy, that movement. That was a walk in the park. We needed to actually do something. We had all the people. They weren't even like guards or anything out the No King's Day. I didn't even see any like ICE or soldiers or military. I didn't see any armed anybody that entire day, and I was everywhere around Portland. And like we just need to make ourselves known and demand this shit, guys. We need to do something, truly do something. I'm here and I will love to do something, but if nothing's gonna change and we're just gonna turn into this fascist dictatorship bullshit country, I gotta leave. I'm thinking I have so many ways to like leave. I'm thinking, but I have a house And my mom did help me pay for a portion of it. I am 30. I'm 29. I'm a millennial. You know, barely on I'm on the youngest cusp of the millennials, but you know, still up there. Still unk status. That's for fucking sure. I'm a great uncle actually, and fucking she helped me pay for the house, and so I feel like I'm kind of like partially obligated to like. I'm renting it right now, but like. I don't want to even like keep up with the United States property. I feel like even like once shit starts hitting the fan, like all my taxes, all those payments, they're gonna skyrocket through the roof. And I'm living so frugally, I probably won't be able to afford them. And then I could sell my house, but like, no one can afford anything these days. Like even if I sold my house for what I bought it for at 40 grand, gave my mom back exactly what she gave me to pay for the house, pocketed the rest or whatever, like. I got so much other stuff that I have to pay for in this country, and debts and other things and stuff. Like if I wanted to even come back, they'd probably just detain me immediately and told me no, that I'm not allowed back in the country for XYZ reasons or something like that. Being a poor American, most likely. But y'all, we need to do some shit. All right. If anybody knows anything, DM me. If there's any movements going on, let me know. We need to do something today. Alright, it's October 28th or some shit like that. We need to do something today, y'all. This shit's gotta change. We can't keep doing this. Yes, this is a katana, by the way. I keep that thing on me because everywhere I go, people don't know how to act, so, you know. Yeah. Keep that thing on you. People don't know how to act. Even in, like, a perfect world, there's still gonna be some idiots who are gonna fuck around, so... You know, we just gotta check those people when we see them. And again, in a perfect world, they should be getting therapy early on, and situations shouldn't be so bad to the point where they feel like they need to be violent. You know, we could be all peachy keen, nice and happy and kind to each other. It would be so easy if we just eradicated like race, like, you know, all that behavior and all that stigmatism, you know, which we could do. Like that, shit's crazy. But I've been Oren. It's nice talking again. I'm gonna go probably hang out near some waterfalls or some like hot springs later today. I'll take some footage of that and maybe post like a couple shorts or something. I'm gonna start posting a lot more content. Just me rambling, talking about stuff and hanging out in nature and whatnot. I know I'm not right now. I decided to just record this on the way to go pick up a friend before we go hit the road. Because I just had a lot of stuff on my mind and I just wanted to get this out there. I finally got my account verified and I've been wanting to post a full-length video, not just a 3-minute short for a while now. And this is one of the first things I want to say with my platform is that we need to fucking change this shit right now. We need to come together as a community. We need to hold each other and protect each other. And it's so easy. I see a lot of people talking about just going tax exempt, starving out the government, taking all your money out of the bank, crashing the banking system and whatnot in the economy. Going out to, or just a banking system, then taking all that money, going to the stores, buying out all the essential products, just essentials, leave all the bullshit, only essentials, and create food pantries and resource pantries in our neighborhoods and redistribute them properly. And, you know, try not to be excessive, all right? I know shit can be scary, but like, take what you need and ration and be minimalistic as much as you can. We're all gonna need to make a little bit of life changes in the short coming time, but it's gonna be for the betterment of society and humanity overall if we can come together as just a collective and say enough is enough and demand the change that we want to see in the world. We have it, guys. We have the power, the resources, the knowledge, the wealth, and everything. We have it all right here, right now. We just gotta demand that shit. And we gotta really demand it. We gotta, with our whole chest, demand that shit. So, yeah, get your communities together, try to really round up as much people. Oh, and like, stop going to work. Fuck that shit. Stop going to work for a time period. Stop buying stuff other than the essentials, like I said, to only help out and redistribute amongst each other. That's it. Everything else, fuck all that shit. Fuck all that shit. Once the world goes back into order and we change shit, we can redistribute all that unessential shit and people can have some luxuries and stuff and we can work on building that back up and whatnot. But for now, fuck all that unessential shit. We don't need Xboxes, PlayStations, Jordans. Buy you some good boots Because niggas is gonna need boots. Excuse my French. Motherfuckers is gonna need boots. Good boots that have good soles. Because it might get crazy out here. Get you some good boots. Some good tough clothes. And like I said, maybe a gun. Maybe a katana. Get you that thing. And get your people together. And just hold tight. You know? Focus on other things and the life you want to see and what changes you want to make. Because when it comes time and we all need to get together in those courthouses after we throw those motherfuckers out, you're going to need some good talking points. You're going to need some actual ideas about what you want to see and what changes you want to make. All right? So, and let's get this done, guys. Let's get this done. All right? Have a good day. Stay safe. I love all you guys. And if you find me at your local LGS, come to my table. Let's play. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Love you guys. Have a good day.